Hey guys, welcome to another video brought to you by Blade, or Blade 55555 as some people will know me by from my stream and all that, my strategy guides. I will be presenting to you today a Zerg Versus Terran from the Korean server of a different kind of style of play that is actually starting to become popular in Korea from what I'm noticing from the Korean streams, but also something I've been doing since release. And that's going to be Ling, Bane, Swarmhost into the Hive Tech compositions. This game is actually a very good showcase of how to get that composition as well as transitioning once you get the Hive Tech, as this is a pretty close game. And this is going to be for... I actually played a guy I haven't played in over a year, so you'll see some chat, but nothing exciting. So this is going to be a pretty standard Terran play where he's going to go Bio plus Widowmine, and I'm going to be going Mutaling, Baneling, Swarmhost, and I'll be explaining the process of when you want to start the transition into Swarmhost as well as the transition into Hive Tech and all that fun stuff. So, the Swarmhost, I have a video that I made before of Mutaling, Baneling into Swarmhost. This one is superior in every single way to what my other video is. My other video I found out was actually, there were many weaknesses to that one. And that's why I waited actually almost 3 weeks now before I decided to do a video on ZBT on this, because I wanted to make sure this was a solid build and not just something that only works for a couple days and then doesn't. I've been doing this every ZBT and I've had high success win ratios. The Swarmhost, I wouldn't go this style versus a Marine tank player, just play standard Mutaling, Baneling into Ultra, but versus Bio Widowmine I would recommend this style. It's really strong and it's just... you'll see in this game, and I'll be explaining that as we get there. I'm going to be going standard hatch first, and he's going to be going 1 racks fast expand, so no Reaper this game. I'll make sure to have replays with Reaper. I just picked this game because it shows everything but the Reaper opening. If I had seen, as you can see, I kind of scout for proxies to look for proxy Reaper, because if you scout it and you can cancel it, you're ahead. And if he does a proxy 8 racks Reaper, you just get a free win. I scout no gas, so I am not going to be getting a gas myself, and I'm going to be getting my expansion. Now, if I had scouted a gas, and obviously he'd probably be going Reaper, I would have been getting my gas at 17, so I would have gotten it by now, and I would have been getting Ling speed, and then I would have pulled the guys off gas and put them on minerals. But obviously I scouted this, so I'm going to be going gasless until about 36 supply. Once I get to 6 minutes, I double gas, and I get my third. So it's pretty much right after I get my third, I almost get my gases. And now, if you scout a gas opening from Terran, and he's not going Reaper, like, you are not seeing any Reapers at all, he's probably going to do a Widowmine drop. When Terran goes gas openings and they don't go Reaper, and you'll know because their Reaper should arrive at your base before your Lings pop, unless you go 15 pool or something. You should probably make a Spore Crawler, at least in your main and natural, at about 6:30, 7 minutes. Now, if you don't have a Spore Crawler and there's Widow Mines being dropped into your base, what you need to do is, so pull the drones. Once the mine detonates, put the drones back on minerals and make a Spore Crawler immediately. A Spore Crawler makes, I think it's 30 seconds? Yeah, 30 seconds, so you can mine and kill the... yeah, you can mine minerals and kill the mine before it recharges. So you shouldn't be going too long without mining, as long as you get a Spore Crawler immediately. And so what I do with this build is I go... so since I'm doing the gases, I do Queen, Queen, you know, when spawning pool finishes. Then I make another 2 queens immediately after the first 2. These 2 will be spreading creep, and then I take my third. You want to make an Overlord at 34 supply. And then you're going to supply block yourself at 36, which is fine because you're taking a third base. You're saving money anyway. As soon as this goes down, your Overlord should pop, and you should already be making drones. I've worked this out. It works really well in sync with each other versus a non-gas opening. I would not do this versus a gas opening, just because of the possibilities. And if he's going Reaper, you want to get map control as fast as possible. And again, you should always have map control with the Lings. Some good Overlord placements on this map is to have an Overlord here, or I think, yeah, and here. I don't have those on those, but and here. If you can get them on the high ground positions, it's pretty good because you can kind of see where his army is. And as you can see, I've double gassed at 6 minutes. And this is pretty normal. Okay, nothing unusual. Spreading creep. Have my overlords. I have complete map vision right now. And once I go lair, which is going to be after I start 1-1, is when you want to get overlord speed on your way to lair. So I'm getting double evo because I want to get +1 carapace melee. And once you saturate this base, once you have like 19-20 drones, get your 3rd gas geyser, and then once you get about 15-16 here, you want to get your 4th gas geyser. And you don't want to get your gas geysers at this base till you have about 10 drones of mining. These are just timings I found best, because if you get your gases too early, you're going to have too much gas and little minerals. So if he does a push, you're not going to have the minerals to get mutas, which is always bad, because you want to get mutas. Mutas are just really strong. And the best unit right now to go ZVT due to how strong drops are. So as you can see, starting my Roach Warren just in case of any cheese, any all-ins that could come, and I like to use them to get control from the Hellions. But I start 1-1 and I start my lair immediately after 1-1. And then my next 100 gas will go at Ling speed, and then my next 100 gas will go to Overlord speed. And you do want some roaches because, again, I don't like pure Lings against Hellions just because if the Terran micros correctly, he should be able to kill your Lings. So you're going to have no map control for a while. And it's always kind of scary against the Terran because if they do a 2-base timing, you won't see it coming till later. So here are my roaches. I have these queens blocking so we can't run by. I'm starting to drone my 3rd, which is obviously good. You want to get your Baneling nest also. As you can see, I'm getting mine with my 50 gas. It's always a good timing. And his Hellions are just... my roaches are out, so I have map control. I can start spreading creep again, because they're pretty good at denying the creep for a while. He has Widow Mines out. I'm droning the space, getting my gases. I see the Widow Mine, so I'm making a Spore Crawler. My lair is finished. Spire goes down immediately. And now, once the 1-1 finishes, you want to start 2-2. Melee carapace, obviously. So now that we're kind of getting to the point where I'm about to have mutas out, I'm going to describe the transition phase of... so once you get about 14 to 16 mutalisks, this is up to you. You can get 14, 15, 16, whatever, your choice. Then you want to make the infestation pit, start your hive, and then get the locust upgrade for the swarmhost, and then make 10 swarmhosts. That is your goal. The reason being is because swarmhosts, again, they do very well with the Bio-Widow Mine composition, as you'll see later in this game. And I think it's something that is actually really, really powerful and better than an infestor play, because infestors rely on energy. Swarmhosts do not. And I think I get my mutas first this game instead of upgrades, but honestly you should be getting the upgrades before the mutas. So this game, just ignore the fact that I didn't do it this game, but normally you want to start your 2-2 immediately. And then you take your 4th, and I'm about to start muta production. And once your Overlord speed finishes, as you see mine is done, notice how I'm spreading Overlords everywhere. I'm having creep here, I'm having Overlords everywhere so I can see drop play. It's very important to know when drops are coming. You should always have good map vision, because otherwise drops can completely just crush you, and you don't want that. I mean, as you can see, I have total vision. I'll see any drop that comes, unless it comes through here, and I should have an Overlord here. Now, obviously, I just have map control, and a Widow Mine hit those roaches. And obviously, I have mutas out. I'm about to have 15. And you're going to notice I'm going to start transitioning soon into the Swarm Host. Get my 4th base up. And as you can see, there's the infestation pit. Again, I kind of forgot to get 2-2 for a little bit this game. I should get them any second now, but you want to get them normally as soon as your 1-1 finishes, just for future reference. And as you can see, finally starting my 2-2. And my infestation pit, which is, again, I'm going to get the hive first, then locust upgrade, then swarm hosts. And I'm kind of pushing around with the mutas, but it's really kind of... I don't think I did as good a job as I could have. Something you need to be doing if you go muta play, though, is you need to send either one muta ahead or you need to have an overseer, because otherwise if they have widow mines and you don't see them, they can just like completely kill all your mutas. If anyone watches my stream, they would have seen me where I got 16 mutas, like, just popped. I flew over the third base on this map, and there was 5 widow mines right here, and even though my mutas were spread out actually, they all fired and killed every single one except like 3, or maybe 5. That's game ending, so you want to be a little careful. And so as you can see, Hive, Locust upgrade, Swarmhost on the way. Now here comes the point where, so I have the mutas for drops. This is mainly for anti-drops defense, because drops are super strong with the medevac speed. And what you need to start doing as a Zerg is you need to start putting static defense at bases once you get a mineral bank. And then you need to leave a little group of Ling Baneling behind, otherwise drop play, even with static defense, it'll just kill bases, but if you leave some Ling Baneling behind, you can deal with the drop play a lot easier and not lose as many bases. And as you can see, he's moving out right now. I have my Swarmhost out, I see he's moving out, and this is a pretty standard move out by the Terran. And my creep spread could be better this game, but it's obviously just something to comment on. And so I see his army, and you see the Locusts up here, right here. So there's Locusts coming out. This is very good versus this Widowmine composition. My Banelings are coming in. The Locusts really soak damage from the Widowmines, which is always nice. And I'm just sending in another wave. You want to make about 10. I think I make 12 this game. You can make 10 to 12. It's up to you. But as you can see, I'm able to kind of hold on, and Locusts, these things tank so much damage, and they dish it out too, even without any missile upgrades. They dish out a lot of damage. And so I'm able to kind of secure my 4th. His Widow Mines can't do anything. I can send these, and I can keep sending these so I can see when he pushes. They can deal with Widow Mines well. I'm taking my 5th. And I'm starting to get my 3-3. I thought I upgraded this in this game, but it actually did not go. Which is, I must not have had the money. Just a quick heads up on that. I mean, as you can see, his Widow Mines are going forward, and they're shooting at these Locusts, or well, you'll see in a second. And as you can see, they're just kind of firing, and they're doing pretty good damage. I do lose this base, because I make a small engagement error. But I don't, and obviously those Banelings should have went here, not hit the Marauders. But as you can see, here come more Swarmhost Locust waves, and you're going to see them kind of... Well, actually, I don't have an Overseer, so they won't kill them. But normally they kill these. But they suck the damage. And I'm getting my Ultra Cavern. And soon I'm going to start adding in static defenses at all my bases. Should be very soon. Normally you want it by now. This game I get it a little late, but you want to get the static defense right now in your main, natural, 3rd, 4th, and leave some Ling Baneling behind. Don't forget to remake the drones, otherwise you'll fall behind economically. And here comes another push, into which, again, just Locusts keep coming, and they're kind of shooting down the Widow Mines. And I mean, notice it's free units for Marine Marauder. It's a good trade. And I engage here. I think I make another... Yeah, see, notice my lack of Baneling control this right now. I'm hitting the Marauders, and that's not what you want to do. And here comes another group of Locusts. They're doing pretty good damage. They're also... These things are really good at buying time as well. Because as you can see, I'm getting units, Banelings, and I lose this base. It's dead. And... Maybe I do save it. I swear this dies. But yeah, Ultras are on the way, which is obviously very important. Adrenal glands. And I'm just... Even though I lose this base, which sucks, notice he's not on a 4th. He's trying to build one, but Overlords are blocking it. So he doesn't have a 4th base. I have Ultras on the way. I still have 4 bases, even though I'm not mining off the gas. Gonna retake this base, and now I'm gonna start being aggressive, because right now this has been a defensive game on me, because he's not really because he's just been pushing my 4th and I was trying to defend it this whole game. So as you can see, he's gonna push down. He's gonna try to take out this base that he does know exists. Notice I have a group of Lings here, and I morph a few Banelings here later. And with Ultra Ling Bane Swarmhost, I'm able to just kind of push this back. I'm getting the Infestors because you do want to add in Infestors eventually. Even though I'm not going them, it's a later game position because Infestors, if you don't go Infestors, Ultras can be kited to death and then they just die and they don't do the damage they need to be doing. So you need Infestors eventually. And you can make quite a few because it's really up to you and how many you want, but you do want to lock that army down because it's just really good, obviously. And I lost my train of thought for a second. So I'm remaking these bases. Notice I'm finally making my static defense. This should have been done a while ago, but better late than never, right? And I should make some spores and spines at this base, but I don't. I mean, I am pretty broke right now. And I'm starting to go into the Broodlord transition soon, because eventually, if you can't kill him, eventually you are going to need some sort of, and these Widow Mines do some damage. You are going to need some transition. You can't stay Ultras the whole game. You do want to get some Broodlords. You want to force Vikings or Ravens, or, you know, make them to make some other units. And he loses those, and I keep this base alive. I remake the Ling Bane, and I think I point him. Yep, I point him back here, so his defense. And I've lost 35 workers, which is a lot. And this is pretty defended. My main's pretty defended. This is pretty defended. This is obviously defended because my army's here. He still doesn't have a fourth, which is kind of my goal right now, is to deny the Terran fourth. And I got the Infestors, got the Ultra, got the Swarmhost. The Locusts are doing good damage. I'm able to get some good fungals, I think, here. Never mind, I fail. But it's just coming down to kind of control at this moment. This is a scary army, in a sense. Because if you can get good fungals, you can take this. And I think I do... No, whiffed. Yeah, I don't have any energy for another fungal. But as you can see, with the Locusts and the Ultras, you can really, they're so good at tanking damage. And he does kill my Ultras. But I'm starting to, I should be adding in Corruptors soon, because you really do need the Corruptors for the Broodlords. Eventually, if you keep going Ultras, eventually he'll actually just kind of kill you, because you're wasting a lot of money on these. You need to force another response, because you do need an air army eventually. I don't go heavy Broodlord, I only get about 5 to 7. I think that's a good number. As you can see, again, he's trying to take a base. I'm very aware of the minimap still for drops, keeping these behind because he's been dropping. I should have static defense here, but I don't. And taking that 5th. And this is kind of where the game goes to where you're trying to just deny the Terran 4th. You deny the Terran 4th, it's very good. I wonder how he has 30 workers or 24 there. It's kind of weird. Because if you can deny this 4th, he's really starved out. I mean, he's just about mined out, as you can see. And that's kind of obviously good. And with Broodlords coming out, he doesn't really have a big income. Something the Terrans should have been doing is already having Ravens out, because Ravens are super, super good late game ZVT right now. But he doesn't make them, so it's whatever. And something you can do is you can make some Corruptors so that you can snipe the Medivacs and then morph them into Broodlords. That's not a bad idea either, to be honest. It's something I want to mess with, but I haven't yet. And so this point is just I'm getting my Broodlords out, and again, he doesn't have the money to make a bunch of anti-Broodlords right now. And so he's trying to secure this 4th. And notice these Swarmhosts have been really helpful all game. They've killed quite a few units. And they're just, again, they're really good at tanking damage as well as seeing where the enemy army is. Losing a wave of Swarmhost Locusts up here is fine. Because, again, they're just so good at kind of finding out where the army is. And they're killing units. They're doing good. And then the Broodlords come out. And I have Infestors. And he retreats because of the Broodlords. And at this point, it's pretty much game because he's not going to be able to hold on to this 4th. I have Broodlords out. He doesn't have a counter. And I still have Infestors. So, and he just doesn't have much anti-air right now. And he's losing his Medivacs. There's not really too much else to say, except, I mean, again, you should have static defense at all your bases, and a little group of Ling Baneling. This Whoops. And yeah, that's just kind of what you need to do. You need static defense plus a small group of Ling Bane. If you have just static defense, drop play can still destroy you. And if you're out of, especially if your army's out of position. And I mean, as you can see, he's dead. There's not much else to say at this point. He can't hold on. And he says the GG. So, hopefully I went into good detail on that. I'm not sure. I said everything I could think of. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, Blade555, or my stream, Twitch TV, Blade5555555s. Twitter's the best way to know when I'm going to release another video. And my next matchup's going to be ZVP. I've got quite a few good ZVPs to where I can showcase certain strategies. So, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.